ask you, who are you? You'll most likely say your name, followed by your profession. For example, I'm Layla, I'm a medical student. Or, I'm Robert, I'm a software engineer. There's nothing wrong with introducing yourself this way. It is the expected answer, and as I talk about in my course, You Improved, part of your self-image is based on what you do. So there's nothing wrong with introducing yourself by what you do. The problem is when what you do becomes all that you do. I can say I'm a doctor and mean this. I'm a doctor, but I have hobbies, I have a social life. I have an identity outside of just being a doctor. Or I can say I'm a doctor and mean this. I'm a doctor and being a doctor is all I am. You can be something and have a diverse life. Or you can be the kind of person who is either working or thinking about work. Basically, a workaholic. I am Layla from ShutUpAndAchieve.com, and today I'm going to tell you how to not be a workaholic. As Victor Bredding said, consistently working late is not necessarily a sign of a hard worker, but rather the inability to use time wisely. Too often is working hard associated with working more. Staying late in the office, waking up early to get more work done. Even if you finish work early, you're expected to do more work. In today's society, if you're not working, you're wasting time. So let me present to you 3 strategies to not be a workaholic. The first is to have time boundaries. Stephen Covey said, most of us spend too much time on what is urgent and not enough time on what is important. What time does the workday end? You may say 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock if you're working late. The true answer is it doesn't. Because as long as you have your computer and phone, you can work anytime. I know people who will take work calls at 9 p.m. Anywhere between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. is an acceptable time to schedule a meeting. Send them an email at midnight and they'll respond 5 minutes later. They are always available and always find more time to work on their ever-increasing workload. These people lack time boundaries and perhaps need to work on their priorities. Time boundaries are limits put on the time you spend on tasks. I have an app on my phone that locks me out of Instagram after 10 minutes of using it. If I didn't have this app, I could easily use Instagram for an hour and a half to 2 hours per day. Time boundaries are essential. You can decide to spend only 1 hour per day on a certain project, or you can say you will not work after 5 p.m. If you have a project you're working on, you could easily spend up to 8 p.m. working on it just to be done. But those 3 hours could have been used elsewhere. You could have taken a break. You could have spent time with your family. Although it would be nice to finish the project, other aspects of life deserve your attention too. The second strategy to prevent work from taking over your life is to have something else to do. Parkinson's law states, work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. I personally have a problem called now what? If I can't think of anything else to do within 5 minutes, I will break through my app lock and spend time on Instagram, or I will go back to studying. Once you put time boundaries on your tasks, you will have more free time. And there are countless possibilities of what you can fill it with. However, we are creatures of habit. Once you set the time boundary and are left with free time that you don't know what to do with, you will do one of 2 things. You will either waste time, or you will do more work. Once you set your time boundaries, write down a few answers to the question, now what? For example, you could expand your horizons by reading or watching a documentary. You could build a new skill. Sign up for Skillshare through the link in the description box and take a course. Or pick up a hobby. I made a list of hobbies that you could try and put the link in the description below. There are countless things that you could spend your free time on. Make a pre-made list so you don't revert to your habit of working, studying, or wasting time. The third strategy to not being a workaholic is having a schedule. Zig Ziglar said, lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24-hour days. We live by Pablo Picasso's quote, only put off until tomorrow what you are willing to die having left undone. We don't like leaving tasks undone. So we spend extra time trying to finish the task by the end of each day. We don't want to wake up to a full inbox tomorrow, so we spend an extra hour after work answering the emails. A big part of why we go overboard and spend extra time working every day is because we don't have a schedule which allows everything to be done in a timely manner. So make a schedule and space out the tasks so you're not overworking every day, but still getting done before a certain deadline. For example, if you have a big project, break the task up so that on day 1 you finish 25%, on day 2 you finish the next 25%, by day 3 you finish 75% of the task, and on day 4 you're done. Each day you schedule a reasonable amount of the task so that by the end of the week or by the end of the month you're completely done with it without having overworked and crammed everything into 3 days. Andrew Wilkinson said, "You don't have to make yourself miserable to be successful." We have this idea that the people who achieve great success never take breaks. We have this idea that successful people never take breaks. And in order to be like them, we have to work more and harder. Successful people do take breaks, but their time is organized. You can be successful and have a life-work balance. You can be successful and take breaks. You don't have to be a workaholic to achieve great things. We've reached the end of this topic, and it is time to subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and check out what else Shut Up and Achieve has to offer. Enroll in You Improved, creating a self-image that brings your dreams to life. In this course, you will learn to break through your limiting beliefs and stop holding yourself back. So go sign up through the link in the description box below.